capstan. And what this does is 200 years ago they didn't have any like electric motors, and so this is actually like the electric motor 200 years ago. We put the bars in here and we stomp around the capstan. We can actually lift up heavy loads with it and do that kind of work with it.
That's the voice of Captain Robin Walbridge. We're standing on the deck of the HMS Bounty. The Bounty and her crew are in Duluth along with 8 other tall ships as part of a tour which includes stops at 6 ports in the U.S. and Canada. The harbor docks are filled with thousands of people waiting in line for as long as 2 hours just for the opportunity to step on board one of the ships. With masts as high as 130 feet and as many as 20 huge sails on them, the ships appear as if they've been transported through time from an age where pirates ruled the seas. Walbridge explains the fascination with the ships and the HMS Bounty as the main attraction.
I would say number one is everybody thinks, the young kids think that it's a pirate ship. You know, and it's fun for us. Not too long ago, I had a young guy, probably about maybe 6 years old, and I just listened to him as he walked through the whole ship, and all he kept saying was, "Wow, this is the greatest day of my life. This is the greatest day of my life." That's all he, walking through the ship, that's what he just kept saying. Wow, what a great day.
Are you surprised by the people that come out to see this sort of thing?
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of like being an entertainer, and I guess that's in one form or another, that's what we are. And like coming into Duluth and seeing the banks lined with people, seeing the crowds of people, looking up and down right now and seeing the crowds of people, absolutely. It just makes your heart really feel good that you are really giving something to people.
Walbridge has been captain of the Bounty for 16 years. And even though he's answered the question thousands of times over the years, he smiles wide when I ask him about her history.
This ship was built in 1960 for the 1962 Marlon Brando movie. It was supposed to be burned in that movie, but Marlon Brando said that if you burn the ship, that he wouldn't finish the movie. The ship's been used in quite a few movies. It was used in, obviously, Mutiny in the Bounty with Marlon Brando. But it was also used in Treasure Island with Charlton Heston, a wonderful movie. Opening 6 minutes, the SpongeBob SquarePants, and we're in a movie right now that's in the IMAX.
How faithful is this to the original ship?
Well, what's interesting is even though it's a horrible replica of the original Bounty, it's a very, very good replica of the ship of its time. It's about the size of a 6th-rate frigate, and externally, from the outside, when you look at it, it's a very good replica. The original Bounty was built as a collier and then was converted over for the mission to go to Tahiti. This ship was built in 1960, was the most expensive movie prop ever built at that time. It was $750,000 to build a ship. It took them about 9 months to build it. Today, I think to probably replicate the ship today, you're probably looking at 10-12 million.
And for those that don't know maritime history, and I had to look this up myself, a 6th-rate frigate was the British Navy's term for a small warship with a crew of about 200 men. The Bounty from that era was made famous when some of its crew, including Fletcher Christian, led a mutiny against Captain Bligh. The mutinous crew later burnt the ship near a small island and evaded British capture for 18 years. Today's Bounty consists of a crew from all walks of life who've come to her through many ways, from teenagers who step on as students to elderly people looking for a new experience. The Bounty offers an opportunity to live life from the golden age of sail. But as Captain Walbridge explains, it's not a vacation.
Here we take people and we actually put them to work just like a regular crew member, and they'll do everything that the normal crew does. Whether it's steering the boat, setting sails, hauling lines, and we try and let them do whatever they feel comfortable with. As far as climbing up in the rig, if they feel comfortable climbing in the rig, we'll let them climb in the rig.
So what's it like to sail on a ship that was designed more than 200 years ago?
To sail in the ship, to be out to sea, there's a lot of different things that are really interesting about the ship. A lot of different hardships too, like you're away from home a lot. You don't get to see your family a lot. And so there's a lot of times that you sit there and you say, I wonder why I do this. And then you'll have that night, they'll have the perfect sunset, You'll have the perfect wind. You'll have everything just going absolutely perfectly, and you'll say, I know why I do this. It's absolutely probably one of the most thrilling things that you can do. When we sail a ship, we have all of the modern conveniences. We have like the radars, we have GPSs and all those things. As soon as we leave the dock, we'll shut all of that off, and we go right back to using sextants and dead reckoning and all of that kind of traditional navigation. I mean, that's what we are. You know, I tell my crew, if you want to use all of that stuff, and I have no problem with it, but go get a job on the fast ferry or something like that. We're a traditional vessel. We sail it like a traditional vessel, and therefore we use all the traditional methods that they use for sailing like they did 200 years ago. And there's something that's very, very satisfying with that, knowing that the GPS, the electronics, all of that stuff could fail, and we'd still be able to get ourselves back home again.
For KFAI, this is Marty Owings in Duluth.